The Celtics get lucky. An ex-Celtic has suffered another injury, and he was just moved off the team this offseason. We'll explore how the Celtics have had some fortunate events with dealing with this player and hopefully wishing this player a speedy recovery back as well. We'll also look at how the Celtics got their first loss of the regular season last night to the Minnesota Timberwolves, expressing Joe Mazzulla's concerns and addressing how he felt after the game, and then looking at why I think the Boston Celtics ultimately lost that game. Welcome back to Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. We got a jam-packed episode for you guys today, breaking down the Boston Celtics. Before we get into any Celtics news, I would like to say that roughly around 85% of our viewers, 84.8 of you guys to be exact, are not subscribed to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys hit that big old red subscribe button and join the Celtics Digest family. We can't thank everyone enough that's already hit that subscribe button. And if you guys want to make sure you guys are stayed tuned on everything Boston Celtics, rumors, trades, signings, post-game lives. We'll be doing a watch-along for the 76ers game on Wednesday. Make sure you guys stay tuned to that. You guys can ask questions. We'll watch the game, break it down for you guys. But if you guys want to make sure you stay tuned to all that Celtics news, hit that subscribe button. You guys will not regret it. But let's get into this video at hand. So make sure you guys got a snack. Get ready for this one. It's going to be another banger. First, we're going to be looking at an ex-Celtic that possibly could be done for the year. And as sad as it is to say, the Boston Celtics might have gotten lucky with doing this trade. As we can see from yesterday, Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams Charania both tweeted out that Portland Trailblazers center Robert Williams will receive right knee surgery, sources tell ESPN, and that he will consult with doctors to figure out what is the procedure that he will get to do to fix his knee. But unfortunately for Robert Williams, this might be the end of his season because he needs this surgery. I was watching the game versus the Memphis Grizzlies and the Portland Trailblazers where Robert Williams got hurt. Seems like he tweaked his knee, was hobbling a little bit, was subbed out of the game, and then he was now ruled out. Sad to say for Robert Williams, as he is such a prolific player, such a great lob threat for these teams, such just like a high energy piece that you want to see succeed and actually be a developmental piece in this NBA, but sadly has just had injuries to ruin his seasons over and over again. Unfortunately for him, he has two options. He can go with clean up on his knee, which will sideline him for around 3 to 4 months, or he can get full surgery and miss the whole season. For a guy like Robert Williams, where your position isn't really satisfied on this Portland Trailblazers team as you're playing with another center in DeAndre Ayton, you're not really seeing that much minutes. As you guys can see, Robert Williams came off the bench for the Portland Trailblazers in these 6 games, and he only contributed around 6.8 points, 6.3 total rebounds, and 0.6 assists, shooting 65% from the field and around 77% from the free throw. Obviously, Robert Williams is not a great three-point shooter, so he's not going to be attempting those. But you like to see this rim-protecting center to stay healthy and actually find a role with a team. Obviously, the Trailblazers had guys in DeAndre Ayton, Jeremy Grant, Shannon Sharp trying to develop. But if Jeremy Grant were to get moved at the trade deadline, I could have seen them running a double big lineup with DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams to see how that would have worked. Or even if Robert Williams comes off your bench and is your backup center, there might be a team that is willing to look for him at the trade deadline to trade for. And as the Portland Trailblazers, maybe you could get another piece in return that would help satisfy you. Unfortunately for them, with Robert Williams possibly going down and most likely being out for the rest of the year if he goes with this surgery, he will not be able to be traded. He could still be traded, but he will likely not be traded as his value will not be high, and he'll still be on this Portland Trailblazers team. And for a guy that's had a lot of injuries in the past, you just don't want to see him go down with an injury. You want him to make sure that he stays healthy and can have a great career. And unfortunately for Robert Williams, he just hasn't beaten that injury bug. We wish him the best of luck on the Portland Trailblazers, and if he does go through with the surgery, a speedy recovery from here on Celtics Digest. If he does not and he goes with the cleanup procedure, I would like to see him come back and hopefully have a big role for this Portland Trailblazers team, as I still think he's an impactful piece in the NBA and a very impactful center in this league. But let's look at the more important news, which is breaking down how Joe Mazzulla adjusted last night's performance versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. If you guys missed the game, the Boston Celtics took on the Minnesota Timberwolves, which they lost 114 to 109. They ended up losing in overtime with Anthony Edwards absolutely torching the Boston Celtics. The Celtics had some sloppy second and third quarter offense and a very, very sloppy overtime offense that led them to this loss. The Minnesota Timberwolves are the number 1 defense in the NBA, so it makes sense that they could stop some of these Celtics scores without Derrick White being there and with some inefficient shooting from the team. Guys like the Jays were the only two that could handle the offense, and with a guy like Jaylen McDaniels, who's definitely an all-defensive first-team player and one of the best defensive wings in this league, he definitely showed out for this Minnesota Timberwolves team. But let's look at what Joe Mazzulla had to say. This is a tweet from Gary Washburn from the Boston Globe. He said that Joe Mazzulla said that he would have taken this loss much harder last year, but hopes that this serves as a lesson. But he loved the competition. That was awesome. What a game. That was sick. And unfortunately, I do agree with Joe Mazzulla. Getting to watch this Celtics game, I thought was the best Celtics game of the regular season with the most competitiveness. Obviously, you don't want the outcome to happen for the Boston Celtics. You want them to win this game. But I think this was the best competition the Celtics have faced this season. And even my mom agreed with me on that. And she's not even the biggest Celtics fan. She was like, wow, this game is actually really close. And it totally was. I'm very, very shocked that the Minnesota Timberwolves were able to hold the Boston Celtics on offense. And I'm very, very shocked that the Celtics weren't able to take over. But if you want to look at the team stats, I'll explain why. As you can see, the Boston Celtics only shot 39% from the field as a team, while the Minnesota Timberwolves shot 100%. From three-pointers, only shot 28%, which is very, very low for a Boston Celtics team. And from the free throws, they only shot 76%. Yes, Minnesota did shoot 52% from the free throw. That's because the Celtics were tactical Gobert method, and it was working for them on some possessions. But ultimately, Anthony Edwards and this Minnesota Timberwolves offense was just too powerful for this Boston Celtics team. Like I mentioned, guys like Jaylen Brown had insane plays, like that nasty dunk on Rudy Gobert, and he also dropped him on his ankles, missing the mid-range shot. But he had some great plays on the ball. But guys like Jrue Holiday had inefficient shooting nights. Jrue Holiday and Al Horford shot both 20% from the field, and two of our starters shooting 20% is not good. When you have the bench also not really getting that much time in the game, and when they are getting called to play in the game, they have to hit important shots when they're not hitting. It is tough for those guys to find rhythm. Payton Pritchard, a guy who has been getting a lot of slack on the Boston Celtics in the last recent games, still played performingly great, had 3 assists, had 6 rebounds, was fighting for those offensive rebounds. Yes, he's not shooting the ball great like he was in the preseason, but he's still doing those all-around plays. Hauser hit some big threes in the fourth quarter as well that got the Celtics back into this game. And Jayson Tatum ultimately took over in the fourth quarter, but in overtime, they just fell short. Hopefully, the Celtics can look forward to bounce back from this win as they take on Philadelphia on their road trip on Wednesday. The Sixers are looking tough. They have a great player in Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey has elevated his game. And with James Harden drama out of the way, the Sixers are ready to take control of this Eastern Conference with the Celtics and the Bucks. So this will be an exciting matchup to break down. Can't wait to talk about that game. So if you guys want to make sure we can break that down together, make sure to join the watch along live stream that we will have during the 76ers and Celtics game. Answer all your guys' questions and break down everything Boston Celtics game or anything about the team in general. If you guys are still at this point in the video and you guys still have yet to subscribe, make sure to hit the subscribe button as we know you guys enjoy this Celtics content. I'm Bruce Veliz. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. I'll catch you guys in the live stream on Wednesday, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.